This is real life, nigga, fuck music. Don't matter how I do it, I just do it. Never think twice, bro, I just do it. 23, Nike, just do it. This is real life, nigga, fuck music.
Australia is the smallest of the 7 continents, and it's entirely surrounded by water. It's also the only country in the world that covers an entire continent. At almost 3 million square miles, Australia is located below Asia in the southern hemisphere. That's how it got its nickname, the Land Down Under.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Oh my god. As you guys saw in that very unique intro, we have made it here to Australia in the game. So that is the purpose of the very unique intro, the little history lesson for you guys, just in case you were thinking about visiting Australia in real life. It is incredible over there. Now, me personally, I've never been outside of the US, so I don't know what it's like there, but let me know in the comment section, please. As I was starting to record this video, a developer just randomly joined my game, and he's here, but he's kind of AFK, but huge shout outs to the dev, This is one of the many guys behind the scenes of this game's creation. So huge shout outs to Chris and the rest of the crew. I gotta say, first and foremost, guys, the maps are incredible. This game is different from every other basketball simulator game. Now, while we are essentially shooting and dunking, which is the same functions, but this one gives you a nostalgic home feeling because, well, basically, they're giving you different themes with every zone. So here you have Australia. You got this world famous structure here. Then you got the kangaroos over here. They substituted their pouches and gave them basketballs in the midsection. You got the dirt road. You got the kangaroo crossing sign there. And then you got some dust kicking up in the background. And then look at the trees. You got some dead trees over here. You got some cactuses over here because this is the desert. It's always very dry. That's basically what I've heard about Australia. There's like a lot of dry times, and there's also like a lot of tropical weather as well. So it could be like, severely hot, and then it could be like really windy and stormy and rainy. You know what I mean? But I don't think they get snow or anything like that. Now, like I said, I've never been there, but if you guys have been there, just hit me up in the comment section and let me know what it's like there. So just going back through some of these zones here, we have Tokyo, and I love this area as well. You got the little like Japanese trees here. It could be like a cherry blossom or like a sakura tree. You have the train here, and you could jump on top of the cable car and shoot the basketball from there as well. And then you have all the nice, beautiful homes built here on the sides, and then more attention to detail here in the streets. You got a hopscotch game board. This is so dope. Now, if I were able to hopscotch in Roblox, I would actually do it. I would literally do it because this brings me back to my childhood days. I used to play hopscotch in the streets. We used to jump rope and everything like that. We used to play hockey. Whenever it was hot in the summertime, we turned on the hydrants, and we used to just spray the block with the water because it was just such a powerful thing to have water shooting out of the fire hydrants whenever it was hot and stuff like that. That was a way that we cooled down during the summertime. We would go play basketball. Those of us that were too young to be hanging out in the park, we had no other choice but to hang out in front of our homes. And this is one of the things that were in the street, hopscotch, these things here. And then especially if you want to get into detail here, those of us that are from New York, the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, wherever you're from, you used to play a game called Skelzies in the street. The little tops with the clay inside of it. You used to shoot them across and everything like that. And then, of course, there was the grown-ups shooting dice and everything like that. And, this is kind of, reminding me of all of that. Even though this is a Tokyo, you know what I mean? It's still, one of those, character traits that exist no matter where you are in the world. Over here, you have this tower structure, which is very, very similar to like Paris, but I don't know if it's like that in real life. You know what I mean? But they done it here in the game, and they gave it a different color, and it still looks phenomenal. The fact that they were able to build a model such as this and add it to the game is really dope. So now, as we are passing through Tokyo, we have landed here in Rome, and I believe this is the Colosseum. And they built the structure as accurate as possible. There's a giant, like, caving in here of the dome structure area right here. So you got this, like, this vine here that's growing, and then over here you got the collapsed pillars that's up here. So that's basically how you get up here. You got to take the pillars. So if you're here at the midsection, you would come like literally down here, and you would jump up here just to get to the top of where I was. So this is an awesome build as well. Like I said, once again, they try to keep it as accurate as possible, but still relatable to Roblox and everything like that, with the aesthetics and everything that is a part of it. Then we go over here to Paris. And this is a beautiful place. You got the Eiffel Tower right there, Then you have this nice fountain. You got all of these little outside cafe areas, and it's very, very beautiful. There's like little flower petals blowing in the wind. Everything is, just attention to detail. And I just love that about this game, as opposed to the other games. It's like they created zones and worlds and stuff like that, but it was nothing of this caliber. Like, this is next level, 100% off of the charts. Then you got a little park area over here. You got some benches, and then you got some more like outdoor cafe areas here. You got tables with umbrellas on them, very, very protective of the sun and also of the rain as well. And then we go over here. We have London. You got the London Bridge right there, and you can see that it's currently in the what do you call that, like the upper position, but basically, like, this is the water down here, you know what I mean, and boats that pass by would definitely need the bridge to be uplifted so they can pass by and everything like that, and bring people in and out of the city. Now, like I said, once again, I've never been anywhere outside of New York, you know what I mean? Or outside of the US. So I don't know exactly if everything is as accurate as possible, but I definitely want to say I think it is. The London Bridge may not be this color, but it works for the game. It looks fantastic. These building structures here, you got all of the trees and everything like that. There's a clock tower over here on top of that building, and it looks very royal. That's like a royal blue color. You know what I mean? You got the kings and queens of London, so it makes sense to go with like that royal sapphire blue color, and then a little gold in there as well. And you got these trampolines. This is basically how you guys can land on top of structures, So in case you wanted to shoot from on top of the bridge and everything like that, you just jump up there and boom, you're on top of the bridge. And now we are exiting from London, and we are going back to New York now. So this is the ferry dock area, and this is basically realistic feature that they have here in New York. You know what I mean? If you're traveling from Manhattan to like Staten Island and stuff like that, you would ride the ferry boat. And the ferry is going to be a giant boat that brings people into, like Staten Island and out of Staten Island and everything like that. Basically, if you're trying to get to, anything or across the water from Manhattan, this is what you would take, the ferry boat, or you can take like a water taxi and everything like that. A water taxi might be faster, but it's also going to be, a little more expensive. They even have these signal things that are in the water, and they're actually they're pulsing some type of like, I don't even know how to describe this, but the fact that it works here in the game is really awesome. Like, you can see, like, look, this is like a sonar thing, you know what I mean? It's pulsating in the water, and it's really dope that it actually works. And if it looks a little weird. It's because I think they're being balanced on top of like red basketball. But just like when you see this from a distance, when you zoom all the way out and everything like that, that's literally how it looks inside of the water. So that's pretty cool. Now, as far as this crane structure here, um, I don't think you'll see this in New York, like this crane over the boat area and everything like that. But they do have cranes and just random construction sites in New York, just all over the place. Now we go over here to Times Square, where all of the action is. You know what I mean? So very, very busy streets. You would think that you're crossing the highway, but it's a legit local street. But they need all of these lanes because there's so many people entering and exiting out of New York. You know what I mean? And then you have all of the amenities of downtown Times Square. So you got all the building structures, you got all of the people and the weirdos that come out of the train station. You got McDonald's, you got the movie theaters, you got all of the shopping areas. So I love that they have this here. And then if you go over here, this is where I was on top of this building last time when I made that first video. I was standing on the edge with my pigeon basketball. So we came a long way. And if you guys can see on top of me, there's the ball drop. So whenever you're around with your family on New Year's Eve and everything like that, you sit by the TV. This is what you guys would normally be watching. Those of us that are from New York. If you basically don't want to be downtown when all of this is happening because it's jam packed, you could go home and just watch it from television. And it's really, really a beautiful thing to see, from the TV and then just experiencing it in real life. I've only experienced the ball drop one time, literally one time, and it was the worst time because I was at a young age, and not a kid or anything like that, but the point of emphasis was I was alone. You know what I mean? Like I went with a friend, and then they ended up going somewhere else after, and basically I had like a curfew. I had a time to be back in the house before the doors and everything were going to be locked up. So I had to make sure that I was back home and had to get on that early train because if you wait around after the ball drop and everything like that, it's going to take forever for those trains to come because there's so many people literally downtown just trying to get on the train. People are fighting and pushing, trying to get into seats. Cab service is going to be crappy because everybody's taking cabs. Everybody's taking every form of transportation downtown. And you got to make sure you leave, legit early enough. You want to be able to see the ball drop and then make sure you're getting on that first train. You got to get directly into that train station. Then we have over here Central Park. So Central Park, um, I gotta be honest, this doesn't really look like this, but I kind of see the aspect that they were going for. You know what I mean? The concept. But essentially, Central Park is like it's a gigantic park that takes up several blocks in middle of Manhattan. So this is upper Manhattan, by the way. It's not downtown Manhattan. So there's a difference between where we are here, where this is legit Times Square and downtown and everything like that, and then this is like uptown Manhattan. It takes up a lot of space here. Central Park is a big park. And there's always a lot of things going on within the park. There's activities that you can participate in, and then there's these nice spots where you can sit on a bench and just chill with your friends, hang out, or with your significant others. If you want to go on a date, Central Park might be a nice place for you and your girl to be, or you and your boyfriend to be with. There's these little pond areas with ducks and stuff like that. So it's a very, very nice area. And then there's police on horsemen. So that's one of the fanciest things about that particular area as well. Like me coming from the Bronx and everything like that, we didn't have policemen on horseback. We had police in the traditional cars, and then sometimes we had the undercover detectives. So those guys will be like in plain street clothes, and they'll look like regular people, and then they'll just flip out a badge and be like, yo, hold up, you're under arrest, and then they start frisking you, and one thing goes to another thing, and boom, you end up calling your mom from jail because you got stopped by an undercover detective that you didn't know was undercover. But yeah, like I said, I kind of see where they were going with this area, and it looks nice. It's just not accurate. This is the only area that I would say that is not accurate. And then we go over here to the train yard. Now, this is sort of accurate, but it depends on like what kind of area you're talking about. So this first area is kind of like all of New York. You know what I mean? You got your um, you got your basketball court here, the outdoor area. So this is kind of like, I would say this will be like Dykeman Park or something like that. You know what I mean? One of those local, well, not local, but like famous local areas. It's still known as a local area, but it's like it's famous because a lot of street basketball legends, names were basically born there, and then a lot of actual NBA players ended up playing in Dykeman and everything like that for fundraisers and charity events and stuff like that. So this is kind of like Dykeman, I would say. And then you come over here to the train yard area, and this is kind of like Gun Hill Road in the Bronx. You have the outdoor area, like you can get on the train outdoors, you know what I mean? And then you can see all of the other train cars because this will be like the last stop, you know what I mean? This is where all the trains come to, like refuel and restock and do whatever the heck trains do, but I mentioned Gun Hill Road because that's one of the areas that I know that is outside, and you can see all of the trains, all together because it's a massive train yard. There's a bus depot around there as well, so you can see all the buses, all of the trains, all day, all of the things that come together as far as transportation goes. And one of the unique, awesome things is that there's a train station literally outside. you know, and it brings you back to like olden times because in the old days, this is how people were boarding trains, but now we're in modern times where there's trains that's built underground. We got fully functioning train stations, we got public bathrooms, you know what I mean? You got these coin currency exchange machines and stuff like that. So everything is all modern now. So it's going to be very rare to find like an outdoor train area. Over here, you can make your basketball shiny and also rainbow basketball. So I do have a rainbow basketball in my inventory. And when you are making rainbows and shiny basketballs in the game, they only go up in their XP statistical stat. So as far as like money goes, you have these situations that you run into. So let me show you a prime example here. So previously I was using the Ninja Star Ball. Now the Ninja Star Ball has a 90,000 coin multiplier and a 35 on the XP multiplier. So this was statistically the best basketball to use because it had the XP. But then there was a basketball that I hatched, which is the legendary Scorpion. We also made it into a shiny, by the way. This one has 100,000 on the coin multiplier. You know what I mean? And then the XP is only 7.5, so it's not as great. But then you have a in-between basketball, such as the GOAT basketball. This one here, 150k on the coin multiplier and times 50 on the XP as a normal basketball. So just imagine if I were able to make this into a shiny or into a golden. But then again, it's almost impossible to do that because it will require you to buy this multiple times to make it into a shiny and into a rainbow. And this costs 1.5 million in trophies earned. All right, and then we go to the final area. Like I said, we got this basketball court area, and this is kind of like realistic in a way because this is how some of the basketball courts were like built in the Bronx. You know what I mean? You will always have like one side that is a good side. You know what I mean? Like this side right here, this would be the good rim where everyone's playing at, and then over on this side you have like the biddy rim. This is where everyone's dunking and acting like monkeys hanging from it, and it's got so worn out that it's leaning over, it's hunched over, and everything like that. So this is very accurate. But I wish they would have fixed it here in the game because look what happens. You got Xbox defaults thinking they can shoot from this. He's facing the wrong way. What is he gonna get it together? Look, what are you doing? What is he doing, bro? So yeah, they have to fix this. Yes, finally, go the other way, and you can't shoot from all the way back there, sir. Golly, I hate Xbox players, bro, and I hate just children playing on Xbox. So annoying. Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, this hoop is the lit side, you know what I mean? But then you would have like this side over here where the adults and all the pros are playing, and you want to be on this side, but you know what? They kick you and they step on you and they send you down to this side over here. So, you know, this is where I grew up playing. And then eventually, once I became nice enough, aka tall enough, I was able to play on this side with the pros and with my pops and everything like that. In the Bronx, we didn't have these benches here, but like I said, you know, if this was like in famous area, this would be like Dykeman Park. They do actually have these benches here because they host tournaments. They have actual, you know, like college level players that come through. AAU players come through, and then you have your pro street ballers like the professor would come through, lethal shooter would come through, and then you'll have like NBA players come through. Kevin Durant stepped through Dykeman one time. Kyrie, of course, and then you have like rappers and stuff that will show up there as well. You know, you got Fat Joe. I remember one time when I was younger, I seen Big Pun around the area. So rest in peace, Big Pun. And it was a fun area to be around, but it's definitely an area that you wouldn't want to be caught by yourself in, you know what I mean? Because Dykeman was a little crazy with gang violence and stuff like that, and just overall people weren't just nice, you know what I mean? But everybody was brought together because of the sport of basketball, so some people would be chill during that time. But yeah, wow. What a journey here in this game. We made it to the final area. I can't wait to see what they are going to be adding next. Hopefully, they listen to my tweet and add Dubai. I think Dubai would be a nice area to add to the game. Like I said, I watch a lot of movies and stuff like that. So I think, if they are going with the whole, like stuff that we've seen in movies and everything like that, I think, Dubai will basically work out the best. Like I said, you got basketball trails, you got your Twitter basketball, it's a Discord basketball, you got your milestones that are reached over here, and every time something is reached, something new will be added to the game. So another world will be coming soon in about 6 more days. There might end up being another like light goal as well. So for the recent light goal, we got 3 times the times 2 coin boost. So that was pretty cool. And then over here, you got your abilities, like I explained in the first video. You come over here and increase your range and your accuracy, and the footwork is basically your speed. Over here, you have rebirths, and you can see how this works out here. So let's go ahead and get another rebirth, and boom. We are back down to 0. All of the areas are now relocked. We have no running speed, but we still keep our ball. We still keep our rank as MVP, and it is what it is. Up here you have your ball index, and I don't know if you get something special for completing the entire index, but all of the areas here are listed. So you got the streets, the railroad yard, Central Park, Times Square, the ferry, London, Paris, Rome, Tokyo, down under, and then you have the pro shop listed here. So we got all of the basketballs from the pro shop. Then you have your Robux exclusives, and then you have your promo code stuff here. So it's Gravy, Russo, Digito Sim, a Twitter ball. I think this is a Discord ball, and then this might be something new that they're introducing. I'm not entirely sure what that ball is. And then you have, wow, the sky is blue. Then you have all of the corresponding areas and all of their ball bags that go with the areas itself. I hope you guys have enjoyed this very, very long story here in this game called Basketball Simulator. I definitely wanted to make you guys feel a little bit more comfortable, and I just wanted to explain a lot of things here that was basically happening and just give you a little bit of a real world insight. So I know it's a very long talkative video, but if you have made it this far, say in the comment section, I made it this far, and I'll catch.
No matter how I do it, I just tryna make my mama proud of me. I hope my mama proud of me, cause I dubbed college just so I could focus on a dream. I know my mama died of me, salute me, nasty down with me. Now two bros going back and forth, sibling rivalry. This guy gotta be, do numbers like the lottery. The coldest every winter, every summer, nothing hot as me. And if I spring up, bet my nigga on the side of me, ready for a war.